Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Catherine. Finally starting a new reading vlog. I don't feel well today, which it's kind of sus that I am always like unwell, but whatever. I have my miso soup right here in my little cauldron mug, but finally starting a new reading vlog. I, as of today, just uploaded my most recent, so check that out too. But quick reading update. For the past 2 weeks, I've basically been reading like the same 2 books. I started Fire and Blood, as seen in my last vlog, and I finished it. This is about 700 pages. Loved all 700 pages. I absolutely adore this book. I'm just never not a fan of Game of Thrones and the whole universe, and I feel like Fire and Blood just expands the universe beyond Westeros, beyond the Free Cities. Like, it's phenomenal. I love this book. 5 stars, easy. And I also finally finished The Count of Monte Cristo. It was so good. It could have been like a 5th shorter, I think, but it is a classic. And I know we know that the classics just like to go on, but love this book. I started it back in January, and I have been reading either like from the physical book, or I've been really locked in with the audiobook like these past couple weeks, and I've just been listening all like 40 hours of the audiobook. I like locked in and was listening to it. So I finally finished this last night. Phenomenal book, really good. Not only is it a literary triumph to say that you have read and completed The Count of Monte Cristo, but it also is like a personal literary achievement. Like, it's a good book, and it's wildly popular for a reason. So definitely love this book. Coming up next for me, I think, because my whole idea is I was just gonna lock in and finish those 2 books before I start anything new. So now the 2 things I'm gonna start, I think, in this vlog, I'm gonna start The Artist's Way, A Spiritual Path to Higher Creativity by Julia Cameron. I begged for this book for like years, and then got it for Christmas a couple years ago and still haven't read it. So I think it's time. A ton of people rave about it. This is more for like me as an artist instead of me as a reader. But I'm really looking forward to this. I think I'm gonna like annotate it and whatnot. But yeah, so I'm gonna start this for sure. And then I think we're coming up in like the last weeks of August. I think there's like a week and a half left of the month. I'm gonna finish it off with The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. I'll finish it with a little cozy fantasy. And yeah, I think those are the plans for this vlog. Maybe I'll start a 3rd depending on how quickly I get through these, but we'll see. Okay, so I've spent most of the afternoon reading The Spell Shop. I'm about like 100 pages in, but something really freaky just happened. I just had a deja vu. Now, I get deja vu quite frequently, but like I swear this was like from the past 48 hours. I had this deja vu. You know, usually when you get it, it's like a distant past, like a distant dream, you get deja vu. I swear in the last 48 hours, I read page 99 of this book. So I don't know what all that's about, but I like to follow that saying that when you get a deja vu, it means you're on the right path or on the right track. So I guess universe is reminding me that this is the book I should be reading right now. I'm liking it. The writing isn't phenomenal, and the main character's kind of annoying, but like it's whimsical, it's fun, it's very unserious. But yeah, I have also realized that I do an awful lot of telling you guys what book I'm reading and telling you guys about a book, but I'm not actually telling you what the books I'm reading are about. So The Spell Shop, what I understand of it, it's like a cozy fantasy, cozy romantasy kind of thing. But here's how it's pitched. Keela has always had trouble dealing with people. Thankfully, as a librarian at the Great Library of Elysium, she and her assistant Kaz, a magically sentient spider plant, have spent the last decade sequestered among the Empire's most precious spellbooks, preserving their magic for the city's elite. When a revolution begins and the library goes up in flames, she and Kaz flee with all the spellbooks they can carry and head to a remote island Keela had never thought she'd see again, her childhood home. Taking refuge there, Keela discovers, much to her dismay, a noisy and very handsome neighbor who can't take a hint and keeps showing up day after day to make sure she's fed and to help fix up her new home. In need of income, Keela identifies something that even the bakery in town doesn't have: jam. With the help of an old recipe book her parents left her and a bit of illegal magic, her cottage garden is soon covered in ripe berries. But magic can do more than make life a little sweeter, so Keela risks the consequences of using unsanctioned spells and opens the island's first ever and much needed secret spell shop. So that whole bit about at the beginning about the revolution, that's like the most detail basically you get about that. The first 2 chapters, maybe first chapter and a half, very briefly talk about that, but like so far you don't get into the revolution political side at all, which is fine. It's not a serious book, but yes, that's what the secret spell shop is about. Okay, it is Saturday. I went to the gym. Now I'm just chilling at home reading the spell shop. I'm about 237 pages in. I'm over halfway, so I just have this left. Yeah, I'm kind of liking it so far. It is a little corny sometimes, but I think because I went into it with lower expectations, I'm liking it more than I thought I would. And I'm using this adorable bookmark that a friend made for me out of a tea bag and some ephemera. But yeah, I'm just outside on the deck. I'm gonna do some reading. Okay, reading update with Bjorn, obviously is what his name is. I finished The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. It was cute and fun. It sometimes like it was very like fantasy heavy, and which I liked. And I liked, like, it's a cozy fantasy, right? So everything that went wrong, I didn't have to like worry about because I knew everything was going to be like literally just dandy and fine, which I liked. So it was a very low stress read. Do I know what Laren looks like? No. Not genuinely, not once did they describe him in the book at all. Everybody else, we know what they look like. Laren, we just know that he has nice eyes and a nice smile. But whatever. It was cute. It was fun. I gave it a 3.5 stars. Obviously, it's not the best book I've ever read, and the writing was fine. But finished this. This was cute. And yeah, I kind of just appreciated having like a quick, fun little fantasy read. So since then, I've started 2 books. I've started reading The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. Now this is more of like a course book, if that makes sense. So it's like split up into 12 sections for like 12 weeks. I move in less than 12 weeks, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to kind of read it through and start implementing some aspects of this into my daily life, and then maybe like in my future I will return and like do the full 12 weeks of like what she intends. But right where the stage I'm at right now, that's not happening. So I started this, and I also started How to Write an Autobiographical Novel by Alexander Chee. So this is a collection of essays and short stories by Alexander Chee, and it's his life, like stories of his life experience being a writer and being queer in the 70s to 90s, being biracial, Asian American, all those kind of stories of identity. And I'm actually really liking this. It's not the kind of book I'd pick up myself, but a friend bought it for me for Christmas this past year. So I'm picking it up and I'm really liking it. Okay, good evening. It is Tuesday. I had a lot of like bureaucratical stuff to get done today, which I got everything done on my list that needs to be done, which was nice, and then some. So I'm kind of patting myself on the back. But I just finished How to Write an Autobiographical Novel by Alexander Chee. As I said in my last update, this is not really the kind of book that I would pick up on my own. This was given to me as a gift, but this, genuinely phenomenal book. I absolutely loved it. As part of the blurb in this book, it says, "How to Write an Autobiographical Novel is the author's manifesto on the entangling of life, literature, and politics. In these essays, he grows from student to teacher, from reader to writer, and reckons with his identities as a son, a gay man, a Korean American, an artist, an activist, a lover, and a friend." What I loved about all these essays is they were all very personal, but in a way that so many people, whether you align with any of the identities of himself that he writes about, you can relate to. It was genuinely such a positive experience. I wish I had annotated this book, which means I will be rereading it at some point in the future and giving it a full annotation, because there are so many lines and so many passages in this book that were just like powerful in the way that he talks about it. And so yeah, this was a wonderful read. I loved it. Definitely pick it up. It's like 9 p.m. My bedtime's at 10. I go early to bed, but I think I'm gonna shower and then I think I'll read more. I'm in like a reading mood and I kind of want to start a new book, but I'm also currently still reading The Artist's Way, so I should probably read a little bit more of that. So I think I'll do that for the rest of the night. Maybe put on like a movie or some YouTube while I read. We'll see. But yeah, that's my update for today. Okay, I'm gonna close out this vlog just because it's now been like a week. It's a quick reading update. I started and finished over like a day Blood on Her Tongue by Johanna van Veen. It was kind of like a horror. It started really interesting. It was giving kind of like Fall of the House of Usher vibes. The gore was really good. I was like the whole time. But it kind of ended more on like a yay, the power of sisters kind of story. I feel like the pacing was kind of off, so I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. It was pretty good. It was, what, like 9 hours of my time on audiobooks, so, well, less, because I listened 2 times speed. But yeah, I read that too. So to finish out this vlog, I read 3.5 books. So I read and finished The Spell Shop, read and finished How to Write an Autobiographical Novel, and listened to and finished Blood on Her Tongue. And I'm about a little over halfway through The Artist's Way. This is okay. I think it's for people who aren't so selfishly creative like I am. But this isn't bad. I'm liking it. Here's the collection. Yeah. Everyone, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.